color Orange Clay. I'm trying to get a Roland Garros type of vibe. I just want to start out with an accent wall, but I'm not sure if it'll look good, if I should paint the whole room, or if that'll be too orangey. I was trying to decide between a terracotta type color and an orangey Roland Garros clay. We're gonna see how it turns out. We're just gonna start with an accent wall, and then we'll go from there. Done with the first coat. Obviously I have to touch up the corners and edges, and it will need a second coat, which I kind of knew. Just got into Manhattan. I'm heading to lunch with my friend Greg, who was actually in a video a couple of videos back. I haven't seen him in a while, so it'll be super nice to catch up. And then we're gonna head down to Little Italy for the Feast of San Gennaro. It's like a religious celebration of this bishop who lived in Italy a long time ago, and they have tons of food and vendors. It's kind of like a carnival type thing, but it's in the streets of Little Italy. It's Friday, it is a beautiful day out, and it is one of the last days of summer. The fall equinox is on the 22nd in the morning. We just have a little sliver left of summer, and gotta enjoy it, gotta make the most of it. Let's go. We made it down here. It's a pretty hot day. I don't know why I chose to wear pants, but I did, and we're here. It really is a feast out here. fun, but it's just a lot of food, really.
Yeah, not that special.
A lot of good food, a lot of fatty food.
Oh, very nice.
A couple of like carnival games. And that's about it. Season of change. Lots of changes going on here. So yeah, I'm thinking of painting this wall as well, just to kind of give it a little bit of abstract color splash, because this side is really white, and I think that'll like help balance it out a little bit. I'm super happy with how this is turning out. This side really balances the other wall. Thank you to my mom for the great idea. Some of my gym clothes just came. I got 2 shirts and a pair of workout pants. These are not the ones that I ordered. And they're comfy though, that's for sure. And they fit perfectly. So the print is like this. Workout pants, relaxed pants. Some people might think they're jammies, but they're definitely not. So these are the ones that I thought I ordered. This is really nice. Oof. It fits so well. This is really nice too. I really like the fabric. It's like light, but it clings. Overall, a success, I think. I haven't worn baggy sweatpants since like high school, college. Over the past like 8 years, 10 years, sweatpants have gone tapered. To wear baggy ones is like kind of fun. It's so comfortable. I think I'm gonna order another pair of the ones that I thought I ordered and then call it a day. But this is a good addition to my closet, especially for the gym, like feeling good in the gym. When you look good, you feel good. I'm all about that positive energy. Let me order these real quick. These are comfortable. I'm never gonna take these off. These are gonna be my winter pants. Don't say anything when you see me in these for the next 6 months. There are some yellow leaves on that tree out there, y'all. Fall is about to pop out. I am just making some dinner here. It's gonna be turkey with veggies, quinoa. That's pretty much it. I'm just getting these veggies sauteed up real quick, and then I'm gonna get the meat ready. Probably should have gotten the meat ready before I started cooking, but whatever. I usually like to let my meat season for a while, but today, I don't think I have enough time. First, for a little spice, these are actually peppers from my brother's garden. Pepper flakes. Look at this. Pepper flakes. It's gonna have a little bit of a kick, which I love. I'm a huge fan of spicy food. Not too spicy where it's uncomfortable though. I gotta get this quinoa going. So yeah, Sabrina Carpenter, short and sweet. My favorite 3 songs are Bedchem, Don't Smile, and and probably Good Graces, maybe Slim Pickings. Honestly, I was surprised at how good the album was, and I think it really is a contender for album of the year. I feel like she has influence from a lot of different artists, and you can hear a lot of different artists in her sound. You hear a little bit of Ariana, you hear a little bit of Taylor, you hear a little bit of Casey Musgraves. There's a little slight country twang in some of the songs, and it's not in all of them, but in just a little bit it sounds like Casey's first album. Like the simplicity of Sabrina's voice when she wants it to be simple. She has actually more vocal ability than a lot of people realize. This is like a random meal, but got my protein, got my carbs, quinoa, veggies. Oh. Because I put the pepper in a little late, I can taste the kick, and it's good, but it's very slight. So I'm gonna add a little hot sauce. This is the hot sauce that I use. It seems to be pretty common here in New York, but I don't know about other places. So I'm sure a lot of y'all are wondering about this room. I don't know if I ever showed him, but pretty much for the past year and a half, Wilson and I have had another roommate living with us in the apartment, and this was his room. He moved out at the beginning of September. I really had the desire to make this room into an office slash YouTube shooting room slash guest bedroom. Obviously, we already had a bed in here. I'm gonna have to get a proper lighting setup for lighting. I just have like this soft colored lamp right here that's kind of making me look a little orange, but that's okay. Orange is a theme, apparently. I moved the standing desk in here, so I'll be able to work in here and kind of have my own space to edit videos, create videos. So I'm really excited about that, and I've been needing that, especially when we did have the roommate, and he was a great roommate. He was super respectful overall, a nice person, but we needed more space. You know, we live in a 2-bedroom apartment here in Queens, and sometimes you need to get in another room. You need some alone time and a space to be able to feel creative. So I'm really excited about this room, and I kind of as y'all saw, I kind of got into the whole painting thing, and even though the background is all white right now, y'all saw the other color. It's really warm in here. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I wasn't sure about the orange, but it's not too orange. It's kind of like a slightly burnt orange. Like I said, it's clay. Having a roommate here, I wasn't always able to film when I wanted to. I wasn't always able to work on my YouTube freely, but I did feel a little bit cramped. It's really hard to be creative, and it's really hard to do your thing, film in the house if someone else is there. That's not Wilson, because Wilson gets it. Wilson knows what I'm doing, and maybe that's just something that I have to overcome. This is the first time that I'm going to be adding a little podcast section to my vlog. It's not really a podcast. It's just kind of like a sit down and talk with me, talk with Quincy. As y'all know, I'm trying to build on the content that I already have. That means I have to try new things and work on different types of videos or add new elements to my vlogs. I've really been feeling like I need somewhere to grow in YouTube as well as outside of YouTube, but that's a conversation for another day. So really, I'll be talking about pretty much anything in this little portion of my vlogs, talking about things I'm going through, talking about music that I like. I'm gonna be answering 3 to 5 questions from subscribers in every video in this little segment. So be sure to look out for this if you have questions, if you wanna get to know me better or know a little bit more about me. I already got some questions from y'all, some of y'all, from my community post on my YouTube a few days ago, and I'm gonna answer those now. But going forward, in each video, if you have a question that you want me to answer, please leave it in the comments below, and I will pick 3 to 5 for each video to answer. And I'll try to pick new people every video. If there are questions, maybe there won't be many. I thought this would be kind of like a cool way for y'all to get to know me a little bit more beyond what I show in my vlogs, and you know, the cooking and the pretty drone shots and, you know, all of that stuff that is cool, but it's not really Quincy. Well, it's a part of me, but it's not really y'all getting to know who I am. This summer, I have really been struggling with my creativity with YouTube. I think it's like growing pains. I'm starting to feel differently about YouTube. It's starting to feel more like work, which is actually, I think, a good thing. But because I've been doing it for 3 years, because I've been doing vlogs a lot, I'm starting to like, oh, what can I do now? What can I do this episode? What can I do this vlog? And that's fine. I think every creator gets to that point at some point in their YouTube career, quote unquote. But if you want to grow on YouTube, you got to try new things. I'm really proud of the Brazil vlogs that I did this year. I think that was like my peak of the year, but I can't travel all the time. As I've told y'all, this summer I had a little bit of burnout, and that's normal. Just got to kind of continue to create the things that y'all want to see and the things that I enjoy to create. It's always about finding that balance between what my audience likes and what I like, because it wouldn't be any fun if I just focused on what y'all like all the time. I feel like I'm finally kind of moving past that and getting those clocks turning, and I'm excited for what's to come. Happy fall, by the way. Get outside, go find some leaves to look at, check out that foliage. And actually, I wanted to share with y'all how I kind of track foliage through the fall season. There is this website that I'm going to put right up here called explorefall.com, and it'll show you where the foliage is at in your location on this certain date. And it also predicts to you when peak foliage will be. So if you guys have the opportunity, if you live in an area where you get foliage, I highly suggest you check out this website and take a drive or try to go see some of this beautiful foliage, especially if you're in New England or upstate New York. So let's get into these questions. I'll do 5 today. And actually, thank you to the 19 people who gave me questions. I'm not going to answer all 19 of y'all's. If your question doesn't get answered, I will look for it on the next video or look for another question that you put. How tall am I? This is an easy one. I'm not going to count this as a question. I'm 6 foot. So this person, Dwayne, hey Dwayne Baker 9793. It says, hey Q, I'm the one that noticed and wrote about noticing the love balloons and flowers in you guys' bedroom before your announcement of you two getting back together. What pivotal moments made you realize that the two of you are better together than apart? This is kind of a tough question. For anyone that didn't catch this in the vlog, it was the back in New York City for June and Pride Month. So when I came back from Brazil, actually, rewind. When I was in Brazil and me and Wilson were kind of separated or broken up, taking time, however you want to call it, we were still talking, we were still on good terms and everything. And I'm not going to go into too much detail because I just don't like to do that on social media with my personal relationships. But I do want to fill y'all in because y'all always come back and support me. So that's the least I can do. And I know y'all care about Wilson too. When I was in Brazil, Wilson really made it known to me that he wanted to continue the relationship. He wanted to keep trying. And I was receptive to that. So I came back from Brazil and he got me those balloons, big love balloon. He got me a lot of really nice things. And it was a really thoughtful show of affection, I will say. And it was really touching to do something like going and buying balloons and welcoming me home and he bought me creatine. He gave me like this gift basket and a framed picture of us, one of our first pictures together. And that was really sweet and touching. One of my big things when I came back from Brazil and we decided to stay together was that we needed this room to be vacant. We needed space to grow in our apartment, to be able to live alone together, just us two, and feel free in the house and be able to do what we want to do when we want to do it. But back to your question, that's just kind of like the background info. We keep finding a way to come back to each other. I think that's what's important at the end of the day. I'm not sure if there was one pivotal moment. Maybe it was when I came home from Brazil and we decided we need to stay together. And I saw his effort and his love. We enjoy being with each other. We enjoy spending time with each other. We're not perfect. We have a lot of problems and sometimes we just don't get along like any couple. But at the end of the day, we always come back and figure it out. And if we ever stop doing that, that's how I'll know, it's time to move on. So I'm not sure that there was one pivotal moment, but more so lots of little meaningful moments that give me the confidence that this is the right thing that we're doing. Question number 2 from Tarek Sack. What led you to move to New York City from Virginia, and what part of Virginia are you from? So I'm actually not from Virginia. I was born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. When I was 5 years old, my family moved to Fort Collins, Colorado, and we were there for 3 years. This would be 2003 now. We moved up to Maine because my dad got a job at a university in Maine. So I went from 4th grade to graduating high school living in Maine. What led me to move from Virginia to New York City? I was living in Miami in 2021, and then I moved back to Virginia for like 2 or 3 months, and then I found an apartment back in New York City. I've been back now for 2.5 years in New York, and I'm really happy here. It's challenging though. I'm really thankful and grateful for the experience of being a young gay man, young gay black man, mixed black man who was able to live in New York City and have this lifestyle. In my opinion, I think it's really important for gay people, especially people who come from really small towns. I think it's important for people to experience this diverse city. There's so many cool people and amazing people and experiences and opportunities that you can get here in New York City that you really cannot get anywhere else. And more importantly, the gay community. I can't speak for other cities that I haven't lived in or other parts of the country. There's tons of gays here, and it's really an incredible place to be young and gay and find yourself and explore things without judgment. So yeah, that's kind of why I'm here in New York City right now. Thanks for your question. Bring toys to work. Hey, how's it going? As we move into the last 3 months of the year, do you have any goals or aspirations that you're striving for? I feel like I always have these floating around in my head and sometimes they get lost. Goal number 1 is definitely consistency here on YouTube. This whole year I've pretty much been doing 2 vlogs a month. Like I was saying earlier, I would like to expand on the content that I create, which means, trying new things and doing 3 or 4 a month. So I really have to get in a space where I'm motivated and feeling good to turn the camera on. Goal number 2, buy a new drone. I've been looking at, a more professional, higher quality drone for a few months now, and I've set the fall period as a time to buy it. And I have the money to buy it, but I'm not quite sure if I'm sold yet. I might wait until the next model comes out, even though it's going to cost an arm and a leg. I guess those would be my 2 main ones. And focus on not going out in the fall time. And I really don't go out that much anymore, but I'm starting to, feel tired after a night of going out. Like, oh, I can't do this anymore. Thank you for your question. This question is very important, actually, and it's from Michael Thompson 3157. Thanks for your question or your request. Can you offer any advice to the independents who are still struggling with whom to vote for on November 5th? I mean, I'm not an expert or anything. I can just give you my perspective on it. The United States of America is supposed to be a melting pot that welcomes people from all over the world who are coming to look for a better opportunity. We are supposed to be, and this hasn't always played out in history, especially for Black people, African American people who got not even the short end of the stick. They didn't get any of the stick. But that's another thing. The United States is supposed to be this beacon of freedom. We have the Statue of Liberty right over there. This is supposed to be where opportunity is. And obviously that's changing with time and globalization. And there's so many places in the world that you can be successful and find a lot of different opportunities and meet diverse people. But the United States is supposed to be these leaders of the world. And maybe that's ethnocentric. We're a superpower of the world, and we should be putting our best leaders in office and the people who best represent us. And in my opinion, and I can't say I'm right or I'm wrong, but in my opinion, Donald Trump is not fit to be president again. And he really wasn't ever fit to be president the first time, and he shouldn't have won. But that's a different point. To independents who are looking for some kind of, my question is why are you still searching? What else is there to see? It's time for the next thing. I don't understand why anyone would want to vote for a convicted felon, a rapist, someone who represents the worst of us, someone who would probably be in jail if he weren't who he is. Independents who haven't decided yet, I'll give y'all a little grace, but not much, because the writing is on the wall. I'm not saying Kamala is perfect. I'm not saying I agree with her with everything. She's the best one for the job right now, and she's a hell of a lot better than Donald Trump. We don't need the divisiveness anymore. There are so many conflicts and wars going on in the world right now, and I probably don't even know all of them. The terrible things that are happening to the Palestinian people, Ukraine, what's going on with China and Taiwan, what's going on in Venezuela. We need a leader who is going to be able to answer the call, period. The president should be a leader, a shining example. And of course, this doesn't always play out, and the president's not always perfect, especially because of our election system. But Kamala is the one for the job, and I have 100% faith in her. And independents should accept the fact that Donald Trump is not a good person. A lot of people are having selective amnesia of how bad his presidency was. When you go to the booth on November 5th, you independents, or anyone for that matter, I really want y'all to think about what kind of example you would set for people in your life. Would you rather be showing your support for a convicted felon, rapist, who knows what else, the things that we don't know about him? Or would you rather support someone who is a light of positivity, fights for equality? I would rather have a president whose morals and values align with those of our country. And that's all I'll say. All right, last question from Debo Wilson 7120. Thanks for your question. When/how did you first realize that you were gay? I first realized I was gay when I was walking through the underwear aisle at a department store. It was probably JCPenney or something. And I don't think I really understood what gay meant, but as I got into middle school and kids started calling me gay, I found out real quick. Probably the underwear aisle. Yeah, and I guess that's where we'll end it. I'm wishing you all a happy fall. I'm about to hop in the Jeep and drive up to northern Connecticut to try to find some foliage to kind of welcome fall. If y'all want to come along with me, let's go.